Tales. Military Tales, every Saturday at 9 p.m. with Ben Troy Joe.
Halafu ukishaziweka hivyo, halafu wacha kuwa hivyo. Chomoa coins. You work hard for your money. Why disregard some of it? Collectively, the coins we disregard can help curb the rising cost of consumer goods. Deposit coins at any bank or use or exchange them at any supermarket or retail store. Chomoa coins.
And welcome. This is the Legends Edition, coming to you live from Broadcasting House in the Green City in the Sun, Nairobi, Kenya. And you're just in time for the bulletin coming up. And top in this bulletin,
vitisho. Mimi siwezi kutishwa na mtu. Ati kutishwa? Hapana, watafute mtu mwingine. Ati na makelele. Ati tuache kazi hii tunafanya tuende kwa barabara.
Must go where? President William Ruto says no amount of name calling or push for him to step aside will intimidate him ahead of the 2027 polls. First anniversary of the deadly anti-finance bill protests. The National Police Service gives the nod for a peaceful procession next week. Exercising road accident demons. Over 500 widows hold prayers at the Arimi Black Spot along the Nakuru-Njoro Molo Highway. And in sports, Faith Cherotich storms to another world lead in the 3,000 meter steeplechase during the Paris Diamond League meeting. Karibu sana and welcome. Our sign language interpreter is Lucy Mora and I'm Edmund Mudibo. President William Ruto has said no amount of name-calling or push for him to step aside will intimidate him ahead of the 2027 polls. Speaking in Meru town, the head of state took a swipe at former members of the administration ousted from office, saying they lacked the will and creativity to lead the country and had sought refuge in the opposition without having a clear agenda. Abdiaziz Hashim with the details.
President William Ruto was back in the Mount Kenya region after 2 months following his 5-day developmental tour of the region in March.
Mimi ni mtu ya Meru. Hata mimi nitakuwa na makao hapa. Wala wanaongea hivi watadu.
He pitched tent in Makutano, Meru County.
Hawa majamaa hawa. Nitawashughulikia asubuhi na mapema.
Here, the president took a swipe at former members of his administration who have since joined the opposition.
Mtu hana mpango. Ati kazi yake kasongo. Mtu mazgo. One time. Hana mpango ya ajira ya hawa vijana. Hana mpango ya barabara. Hana mpango ya kilimo. Hana mpango ya afya. Hana mpango yoyote.
Ruto dismissed the opposition as lacking a clear agenda adding their defeat in the 2027 polls is inevitable.
In 2027 tutakutana na wao. Kwani ni mafundi kiasi gani? Wasituletee. Sio kama tunaelewana. Orojo propaganda tu. Sijui nini. Kasongo sijui Ruto Masko. Watu hawana mpango. Ukiwauliza wewe mpango yako kwa wakulima ni gani? Lazima Kasongo.
Leo ni rais amesimama hapa. Nataka nikuje nisimame hapa peke yangu, ninyoroshane na hao wanaume, niwapeleke mbio mbio.
A further faulted government critics opposing the state's plans to invest in all devolved units equally to spur economic growth.
Nasikia watu wengine wanatembeza propaganda ati William Ruto sasa amekuwa investor Meru. Mimi nikiwa investor Meru iko makosa? Iko makosa?
Na kama umepata mali ya kuinvest hapa Meru, invest. Na sio Meru town peke yake, other towns.
Meanwhile, President William Ruto graced the 10th annual Dairy Farmers Field Day in Meru County. Here, he announced a government commitment of 100 million shillings to Meru Dairy Cooperative Society to support the establishment of a dairy feed manufacturing plant. President Ruto also unveiled Kenya's first ever digital cow auction platform. The platform is part of a national plan to modernize agricultural markets and streamline livestock trading for farmers. President Ruto also announced that he will reduce the cost of artificial insemination from 4,000 to 1,000 Kenya shillings beginning 1st of July.
Ukizaa ng'ombe yako ujue uko na ndama ambayo ni ya quality ya juu na hauwezi kuwa na guesswork ya kubahatisha kati ya dume na ng'ombe kike.
Abdiaziz Hashim for Legends Edition.
The National Police Service has given the nod for a peaceful procession next week on Wednesday, the 25th, to mark the first anniversary of the deadly anti-finance bill protests. Central Sub-County Police Commander Stephen Okal, receiving the notice to hold a peaceful march on Saturday, pledged to provide security to the participants.
On Saturday, a section of the youth, families and civil society groups made their way to the Central Police Station in Nairobi. Their mission, to give notice of their intention to hold demonstrations on Wednesday next week in commemoration of the events that transpired on June 25th last year, as Kenyans rejected the finance bill and invaded Parliament, leading to death, destruction and injuries to some of the protesters.
And our emphasis is on that day, we intend to be peaceful. We intend to carry out even this assembly in a peaceful manner.
The families of those who lost their lives during the protests were accompanied by their advocate as they presented the notice to picket.
Alafu furaha yangu tutalindwa kama wasasi. Chenye nataka kusema, kama kuna mtu atakuja na njia zake, mara kurusa mawe, kwanza vituko, sisi hatutaki tear gas.
Lengo letu ni kufanya maombi kwa hao watoto wetu. Hatungeweza kufanya nyumbani kila mtu akiwa peke yake. Kwa hivyo tumeungana sisi akina mama, tuko wengi. Tumeungana, tukuje na maua, tuweke. Kama mimi sasa nilikuwa natarajia, Eric alilalishwa nje ya Parliament, hapo kwa gate. Kwa hivyo nilikuwa naomba hata nikiweka maua kidogo hapo, niwe namkumbuka.
Ndugu yangu ndo alikufa, anaitwa Kevin Odhiambo, aliuliwa hapa CBD. Alienda haraka sana, so soon. Sikuwa itarajia. Sasa tumekuja tu makumbusho kumkumbuka.
The notice was received at the Central Police Station and protesters given the green light to hold the protest within the confines of the law.
Today is just a confirmation that we had a meeting. We deliberated on a lot of issues, as he has said, and we will just go by that as at now. And what probably I'll say is just to urge Kenyans to be very peaceful and remain focused. This is a country that belongs to all of us.
Central Sub-County Police Commander Stephen Okal said the police were ready to provide security and will issue guidelines on Monday.
We had a fruitful meeting with the families and the representatives of the families of the people who lost their loved ones. We've agreed with them that the event will be free from violence, and we need to protect it at all costs. We don't want any form of violent procession or demonstration.
The Wednesday protest, dubbed the Gen Z Memorial March, will mark 1 year since the June 25, 2024 anti-finance bill protest that resulted in the invasion of Parliament, the death of protesters and injuries to some of the demonstrators.
While enrollment of learners in Homa Bay County is high, retention of students, especially girls, is significantly low. Teenage pregnancy due to high poverty levels is among leading factors of learners dropping out of school. The Child Welfare Society of Kenya, under the newly established State Department for Children Welfare Services, has initiated a pilot school feeding program through its Emergency Student Support Intervention to facilitate retention in secondary day schools. Timothy Kipnusu reports.
In a move aimed at addressing hurdles and bottlenecks affecting girl-child education, a section of stakeholders have initiated strategies to deal decisively with school dropouts, child labor, teenage pregnancies, and reducing girls' vulnerability to exploitation. According to the Kenya Health and Demographic Survey, KHDS, a staggering 33% rate of teenage pregnancies have been documented in Homa Bay County, with Ndiwa being one of the areas most affected.
As you are aware, Ndiwa constituency is one of the constituencies which has one of the highest rates of teenage pregnancies. So we are hopeful that with this food stamp, the rate of children dropping out of school and the rate of teenagers children who are getting pregnant will go down.
With factors such as poverty, food insecurity being among factors identified as causes of school dropouts and teenage pregnancies, Child Welfare Society of Kenya has initiated a pilot school feeding program to facilitate retention of affected learners in secondary day schools.
And this donation will go a long way in ensuring that our children are retained in school and therefore they can be able to comfortably finish the term 2 calendar year.
Speaking during the flag off assorted food supplies at Ndiwa constituency offices, Sub-County Director of Education David Ayeta noted that the area is food insecure, making the initiative timely in supporting school retention, particularly among girls.
Ndiwa generally is a food deficit area, and wherefore the parents have been struggling so much to be able to provide lunch meal for most of our learners.
Some of them are absent because they are at home, because the child is sick and they have to attend to them, and at the same time they face several challenges that sometimes makes them not to do very well.
This one will go a long way in subsidizing the lunch program for our students.
Students, many of whom have been struggling to raise school fees, expressed optimism that the provision of free meals will significantly improve learning outcomes in the area. The constituency is the latest beneficiary, where 15,500 learners in 39 public day secondary schools will enjoy free lunches.
This term, I want to be sent home for food. I will be using this because you've brought it for me. I hope my madam will not send me away for free.
Sai, naona tunaenda kuchange diet. Tunashukuru.
Tunaenda kukula hata chapati. Naona mafuta ipo.
The intervention, implemented in partnership with the local leadership, has so far benefited 6 sub-counties. Timothy Kipnusu, for Legends Edition.
Mombasa Archbishop Martin Kivuva is calling for national healing and unity amid rising public unrest as he condemned police brutality against peaceful protesters. He made the remarks during the 50th anniversary celebration of Consolata Parish in Likoni, Mombasa. Addressing the faithful, Archbishop Kivuva expressed concern over the rising tensions in the country and urged the government to uphold the rights of all Kenyans, including the right to peaceful protest. The anniversary celebration, which also featured mass weddings, brought together congregants and church leaders to mark 5 decades of spiritual service in the region.
Pia na serikali hatushindani, wao wana sehemu zao na sisi na sehemu zetu, lakini tunakutana hapa katikati katika ushirikiano wa hali zinazompeleka mtu mbele, hasa elimu, hasa sehemu za afya, na sehemu hizi mbili ni nzito sana: kazi kutafutia vijana ajira na mengineo.
When we had issues within this area, it is the same church where we are right now. So as we celebrate 50 years, let us not just celebrate 50 years by calling it just 50 years. We celebrate 50 years of doing exactly what God has commanded us to do, and that is humanity to every single person.
The Human Resource Management Professionals Examinations Board has issued a stern warning to uncertified HR officers across the country, particularly those working in county governments, stating that they risk deregistration if they fail to regularize their status. The board's Chief Executive Officer, Margaret Ngu, says a bill currently before Parliament could soon bar any unqualified individual from holding a HR position in either public or private institutions. Ben Chumba reports.
Changes in the country's HR sector could render uncertified HR officers jobless and reshape employment practices in the public service. At the center of the storm are county governments, where a growing number of HR officers have been hired without proper certification, often through political influence.
But we are giving notice that if you are in HR, just come, do CHRP, get certified.
This week in Nairobi, certified HR professionals gathered for a national alumni forum, a networking event which saw attendees call for accountability.
It's high time you embrace professionalism, and especially on HR, because when you have an HR who is professional, who is qualified, then and certified, they are able to take your business to the next level.
Despite having over 20,000 registered members, only 3,713 HR professionals have completed the mandatory certified Human Resource Professional Kenya certification, leaving over 17,000 practitioners operating outside the law.
They will not be allowed to practice if they have not been certified and if they are not members of a professional body. And therefore, we are looking forward to coming out there in the counties so that we can preach the gospel of certification.
A bill now before Parliament could outlaw the practice entirely, making it illegal to occupy any HR role without formal certification and registration with a recognized professional body.
We will get them out of practice as HRMPEP, who certify, and IHRM, Institute of Human Resource Management, our regulator. We are working closely together to ensure that anyone who is practicing human resource management, even in the counties, is certified and is a member of the Institute of Human Resource Management.
The Human Resource Management Professionals Examinations Board says the worst violations are in county governments and parastatals, where HR positions are often awarded based on political ties rather than professional merit.
I think that is also something to be proud about, especially those organizations, because then you are so exposed as an organization when you have people, or maybe for lack of a better word, quacks, running the show, meaning you can end up in very serious trouble.
To address the certification gaps, the board is offering an alternative pathway recognition of prior learning designed to help experienced but uncertified officers prove their competence and attain formal recognition.
Bring your evidence, come and prove to us that you are actually a competent human resource management, and we will certify you. It may not be as easy as I'm saying it, because you have to meet all the outcomes of our curriculum.
Still, concerns persist. HR leaders say even certified officers face discrimination in public service.
You find that they're still not embraced as professionals. They're still looked at as paper pushers and people who are just there to keep records.
As Parliament considers the new bill, pressure is mounting on governors and county HR departments to clean up their books and ensure that only qualified professionals steer the future of county workforce. Ben Chumba, Legends Edition.
And with that story, it's time now for our very first break, but we ask that you stay with us. Plenty more on the other side.
Looking to advertise on KBC? KBC announcement services are now available on eCitizen. Visit kbc.ecitizen.go.ke and fill out the online application form. It's simple. 1. Complete the form. 2. Upload required documents. 3. Receive a quotation based on word count. And 4. Get notified via SMS when your announcement is ready. Please note, clearly indicate the type of announcement, service station, and all relevant details. 2. All applications must be made online only. Manual submissions will not be accepted. And 3. Announcements will air after news bulletins. For assistance, reach us on email ecitizen@kbc.co.ke or use our social media handles, Facebook, your Facebook account, and X at your X account. Or you can call us on 0723 892 654 or 0734 780 124. KBC announcements. Simple, fast, and digital.
Semana Spokes? Hapo hapo.
Semana Spokes is a bold, enlightening television show that offers Kenyans a direct line to the heart of government operations. Hosted by the government spokesman, Isaac Mwaura.
Welcome to Semana Spokes Bonga da Gava.
This weekly program features candid conversations with senior government officials, cabinet secretaries, and heads of key parastatals as they break down their ministries' achievements, challenges, and strategic plans.
Cage aquaculture farming,
yes.
8.7 billion.
Yes.
So there's a lot of money.
There's a lot of, and we have not even tapped the potential.
As we get closer to start constructing the first nuclear program, we should have a robust regulatory framework.
Thank you, the spokesperson, for this chance, where we are able to converse with our government.
Semana Spokes.
Hii sio story ya jaba.
Sio story ya jaba. Mimi ni Mkenya mzalendo daima. Thank you.
Tuesday at 8 p.m. only on KBC Channel 1.
Welcome back and thank you for keeping it Legends Edition. A family in Shanzu, Mombasa County is seeking financial support to help their kin undergo a life-saving liver transplant. Abdullahi Wamboi, a 6-month-old baby, was diagnosed with neonatal hepatitis, a serious liver condition that causes inflammation and damage to the liver in newborns and, if untreated, can lead to liver failure. The family is now pleading with well-wishers to help them raise 4.8 million shillings needed for baby Abdullahi to undergo the life-saving surgery.
According to the infant's mother, Naomi Wamboi Njuguna, Abdullahi developed jaundice when he was 6 weeks old and was first taken to Kilifi County Hospital. He was later referred to the Coast General Teaching and Referral Hospital, where tests and a surgical procedure revealed severe liver complications.
Kufanyiwa upasuaji wa kwanza ndo na akafanyiwa biopsy, akapatikana kwamba ana maini yake ana shida. Akawa ana shida, so nikaambiwa anahitaji liver transplant na haiko available in Kenya.
The transplant is scheduled to take place in India at an estimated cost of 4.8 million shillings.
So for now anahitaji liver transplant 4.8 million. Nilikuwa naomba usaidizi kama vile naweza saidika mwanangu aende akatibiwe.
Naomi, currently unemployed and staying with a well-wisher, says she cannot raise the funds without help.
For now, siko kazi. Mimi sasa naka nyumbani. Sasa hata nimehostiwa, naishi kwa mama jirani.
In the meantime, the child depends on weekly medication to maintain liver function and immunity.
So kwa sasa sina uwezo kabisa, na kwa wiki kuna madawa mtoto anatumia ya kumsustain ile liver yake isiache kufanya kazi ya kumsustain, and kwa wiki natumia 4,500 kupata hizo dawa. Asipotumia hizo madawa na kuwa admitted hospitalini, cause immunity yake inarudi chini, anakuwa mgonjwa na lazwa hospitalini, na bills nazo za hospitalini ni gari.
The mother is calling on charitable organizations and well-wishers to support the much-needed treatment by donating via the following contact: M-Pesa Pay Bill 80614 89. Account number 0745208824. Account name Abdullahi Wamboi. For Legends Edition, I am Teresa Mutai.
Tourism and Wildlife Cabinet Secretary has revealed plans to position Kenya as a regional hub for wellness tourism by capitalizing on the country's serene landscapes, cultural richness, and growing interest in holistic health. Speaking during the International Day of Yoga in Nairobi, C.S. Miano also emphasized yoga's role in mental health, especially among the youth.
On your right ankle joint.
Thousands of yoga enthusiasts gathered at the Sikh Union Club in Nairobi Saturday to mark the 11th International Day of Yoga.
Very nice. It is helpful to strengthen your knee.
The event, themed Yoga for One Earth, One Health, highlighted the powerful connection between personal wellness and environmental sustainability.
2. Normal breathing.
Speaking at the event, Cabinet Secretary for Tourism and Wildlife, Rebecca Miano, underscored yoga's potential as a tool for healing, resilience, and conscious living.
We know that yoga is not only a practice for the body, it is for the mind. It calms the mind, it reduces stress, and therefore this is momentous, and everyone has participated and has gone away very rejuvenated.
The theme for this year's International Yoga Day is One Earth, One Health. And that's a really important theme because we can only be healthy as individuals if our planet is healthy, and our planet can only be healthy if we're healthy as individuals.
The Cabinet Secretary revealed plans to position Kenya as a regional hub for wellness tourism, capitalizing on the country's serene landscapes, cultural richness, and growing interest in holistic health.
We are promoting Kenya as a wellness destination, a wellness savanna, where tourists can come in and while at it, they enjoy the calmness of nature, of the savanna. And I want to encourage everyone to promote wellness. We recommend yoga.
The event, which was hosted in partnership with the Indian High Commission and the Indian Council for Cultural Relations, concluded with a call for continued cross-cultural collaborations and integration of yoga into schools, tourism, and community well-being programs.
We know that in India it is integrated even into the health system, and we know the benefits. So I would recommend that we explore ways of integrating it into the curriculum, and especially where we have PE or physical education.
Joseph Ohungu for Legends Edition.
An ambitious campaign to tame rising cases of HIV infections in Kisumu County has been rolled out, setting the stage for the county to diverse ways to reduce the rate of new infections. The campaign comes in the wake of statistics that reveal Kisumu County is leading in the number of HIV cases, with an estimated 11.7% of the county population living with the virus. Achola Simon with the details. Meanwhile, widows from Nakuru County have led the residents in prayers seeking divine intervention to curb the rising cases of accidents in the region. The recent incident that involved a 14-seater matatu and lorry left 12 people dead and scores nursing serious injuries.
In a heartfelt appeal for divine intervention, over 500 widows gathered at Arimi Black Spot along Nakuru-Njoro Molo Highway. The event, marked by unity and shared concern, saw key figures from the local clergy and community leaders come together in a powerful call for change and safety amidst a troubling surge in road accidents. Led by Pastor Mary Mugambi, the congregants called on the government to take immediate action by installing rail guards at critical points along major highways in the county.
Tuliazimia kuhakikisha tumeenda pale kwa ile spot, black spot, hapa Elbagon, hapa Arimis, pahali ambapo watu wengi wamekufia. Na sababu ile imefanya tuende tukaombee pale na tubadilishe historia ya pale ni kwa sababu wajane wengi wamepoteza watoto wao. Wamama wengi wamefanyika kuwa wajane kwa sababu ya ajali zile zinafanyika pale. Na kwa hivyo ni kilio kwa mjane, ni kilio kwa mama, na ni kilio kwa jamii.
Madereva tunataka wakuwe makini sana, na hapo mahali pale waweke sport, waweke hiyo madaraja hapo. Tunaweza furahia serikali wakifanya hiyo kazi.
Her sentiments were echoed by John Jihia, who urged drivers to limit their speeding.
Vichuma ambavyo vinakuwa kando ya barabara nimeona vimeharibiwa, na tumenoti hiyo, tutawasilisha kwa ofisi husika ili hizo chuma zirudishwe, na pia pawekwe warning signs upande wa juu na upande wa kutoka chini, ili dereva anapokaribia pale anajua ni pahali pako na upinde wa barabara.
The prayers were conducted amidst rising cases of fatal road accidents, especially Aremi Black Spot, where 11 people lost their lives last month following a head-on collision between a 14-seater matatu and a lorry. Boniface Kasiva, Legends Edition.
Well. News without sports is no news at all. Topi is here with the sports news. Over to you, Topi.
Thank you, Edmund. And of course, there's plenty as usual in the weekend's edition. It's my good evening to you all. And karibu sana. I'm Topi Liambila. Now, we start off with the Paris Diamond League, where Faith Cherotich was in fine form as she lit up the Paris Diamond League meeting late last night in France with another world lead in the 3,000-meter steeplechase. It was the 8th stop in the Diamond League series that also saw Nelly Chepchirchir win the 1,500 meters. Let's take a look.
Cherotich, she is the in-form athlete.
Faith Cherotich clocked her personal best and world lead time of 8 minutes 53.37 seconds on her way to victory in the 3,000-meter steeplechase at the Paris Diamond League meeting, slashing 9 seconds from her winning time at the Oslo leg of the series.
Come, keep an eye on the clock. Wow, it's going to be quick, and Cherotich has done it again. It's going to be 3 from 3 for the Kenyan. Let's keep an eye on the clock. 8:53.38. Wow! What a performance! She has smashed the world lead. That has taken 5 seconds off the best time in the world this year. What a race!
Compatriot Nelly Chepchirchir clocked her season best time of 3 minutes 57.02 seconds to finish first in the 1,500 meters, with Susan Ejore finishing 8th.
On the inside, down in 4th. Riki just behind her. Chepchirchir, though, is leading them out here. High long. It's Kenya 1 and 3. Really tall, long-rangey. Hall is coming wide. Hunter Bell's going to have to come on the inside. Also finishing strongly is Healy. Healy is going on the inside, and she left it too late. Chepchirchir gets there. Healy in second. Brilliant race.
Wycliffe Kinyamal and Nicholas Kiplangat finished 11th and 12th in the 800 meters won by Atui Mohamed of Spain.
And Mohamed Atawi in the final stages snatches the win. Puts his hand aloft, 1:42.
Jacob Krop was also 12th in the 5,000 meters, which Boaz Kiprugut failed to finish.
He's worked incredibly hard here. Bailu is closing so quickly.
The next meeting of the series will be held on 5th July in Eugene, United States.
On the rugby scene, the Kenya Morans got their 2025 Rugby Africa 7th title hunt off to a good start by winning all their 3 pool matches at the Lobodendone Sports Club in Mauritius to advance to the Cup quarter-finals, where they will face Nigeria tomorrow. Morans easily dominated their opening game against Ivory Coast, winning 34-0, courtesy of tries from Floyd Wabwire, Dennis Abukuse, Matoka and Felix Okoth. The story was no different in their second game against Ghana, as the Kenyan lads once again stormed to a 33-0 victory. That dominance could not stretch to the third game against defending champions Uganda, but Morans managed to scrap a 12-5 victory. It took the entire first half plus 2 second-half minutes for Kenya to get to the try line, with Dennis Abukuse putting them ahead 5-0 before an accurately taken conversion made it 7-0. Jojo Oro ensured there was no way back to Uganda for Uganda, who managed to get to the scoreboard with 1 unconverted try.
And it's Dennis Abukuse. Kamiza, great intercept. A palm to it, and now collected by William Mwanji. going forward. George Oro. Great play. And George Oro will go all the way.
Now from Tanzania, a 49th minute own goal by Kenya's Harambee Starlets handed Tanzania the Sekafa Senior Women's Championship title in a final played this evening at the Azam Complex in Tanzania. After a goalless first half, the Kenyan team conceded just 3 minutes into the second half to hand Tanzania women the 2025 title, which was held previously by Uganda. Harambee Starlets, who had been unbeaten before today's matches, finished second overall after the round-robin matches.
Mpamtumili Kaluvanga tangulia nafasi ndani kwa Twiga Stars, cross ndani kwenda Katamina Bago kwenye kamba, wanakwenda kujifunga wenyewe, lakini cross ipambanishi. Kaluvanga nyota wa Nasri ya Saudi Arabia alilazimisha ndani, cross dongo, wanakwenda kujifunga wenyewe. Harambee Starlets walihimili mishindo ya Twiga Stars kipindi cha kwanza, lakini kipindi cha pili mapema tu wameshindwa. Wameonyesha pale ambako wameificha Twiga Stars, wanapata bao la kwanza.
Bao kwa Tanzania.
Fanya kazi kubwa sana Kaluvanga.
Kaluvanga. Tanzania moja.
Tanzania moja. Kenya sifuri.
Well, that was quite a painful finish for the Harambee Starlets at the championship. But they live on to fight another day. Now, President William Ruto says the government will spend 50 million shillings to renovate the Makongeni grounds in Makadara to nurture youth talent in the region. He was speaking at the finals of the Honorable George Aladwa Open Soccer Tournament held at the Makongeni grounds, Makadara, Nairobi County. A 1,000 sportive clinched the trophy after they beat Young Warriors 1-0.
Timu hizo zinacheza kwenye finali hii ya Makadara Constituency Open.
Jennifer na pia wapi?
Mtu yote asiingie uwanjani.
It was a great penalty taken by the head of state. Now, on athletics, Athletics Kenya has named a team of 47 athletes for the third combined Africa Under-18 and Under-20 championships set for next month in Nigeria. 18 athletes will represent the country in the Under-18 championship, while 29 will take part in the Under-20 championship, following the conclusion of a two-day national trials at the Afraha Stadium in Nakuru County. Among the athletes in the team is the 2023 Africa Under-18 silver medalist in the 1500 meters Joylene Chepkemoi, who will compete in the 5,000 meters Under-20 category alongside her South Rift compatriot Sharon Chepkemoi. South Rift's Miriam Chemtai, who finished 7th in the last year's World Under-20 Championships, and Stella Chepngeno, who will carry the Kenyan flag in the 3,000 meters. Edwin Elkanah and Ronald Kipkoech have been selected in the 10,000 meters Under-20 team. The Under-18 team will be led by the reigning Sirikwa Classic 6-kilometer cross-country champion Cynthia Chepkirui of South Rift. The team will report for residential training camp in Nairobi on the 30th of June before they depart on the 14th, 2 days before the championship starts. Kenya will be targeting to better their 2023 results in Dola, Zambia, where they finished in 3rd position. Nairobi United have been crowned the 2024-2025 National Super League champions after their final match of the season against Naivas FC, who beat them 3-0 at the Dandora Stadium. Nairobi United had already clinched the NSL title with a match to spare when they beat Mofa 1-0 in Kisumu and were awaiting their coronation today, which came to pass at Dandora Stadium despite the today's loss. Naivas FC have, on the other hand, booked their place in the FKF Premier League and National Super League promotion relegation playoffs. As Nairobi United, who already earned their promotion the FKF Premier League type battle to bag another title in the Mozart Bet Cup final, where they will face Gor Mahia. In the meantime, all roads lead to various venues as the 2024-2025 FKF Men's Premier League comes to a close, with the winners Kenya Police up against former champions Gor Mahia at the Ulinzi Sports Complex.
Penalty. Anakuja Itona check.
Kuru wachezaji wetu wamejitolea haswa kwa sababu hii ilikuwa mechi ilikuwa na pressure sana, tulikuwa tunacheza na timu nzuri na imekuwa ikishinda mechi zao na walikuwa na morale.
Pili tumeweza kupata ubingwa. I think it's about perseverance. I think the feeling ni mzuri sana kwa sababu ukiangalia hiyo jani ambayo tumekuwa nayo haijakuwa rahisi.
Twinkle Hockey Club has called on the government to amend the current Sports Act to streamline the registration process for local sports clubs. The appeal was made by club president Desmond Boy during the launch of the annual Twinkle International Nyota Hockey Tournament slated for October this year. Let's take a listen.
Addressing the media and key stakeholders in Nairobi, Twinkle Hockey President Desmond Boy said there are complexities hindering the growth of grassroots sports in the current Sports Act, which need to be amended.
We want to change the narrative in this country that hockey can only be played at the international level by people who have done this for many years. Some of these girls have just played hockey for 2 years, for 1 year, and yet they compete at the highest level possible.
He was speaking during the launch of the annual Nyota tournament, which continues its tradition as a platform for cancer awareness, rolling out breast and prostate cancer screenings alongside competitive play.
Tunaenda around when the schools are playing, and we look for we scout from these schools. So if we have girls from different areas, we have girls who are coming from Bungoma, Mombasa, from all over.
First established as a pre-season event, it draws both local and regional teams with past tournaments featuring clubs from Uganda and Tanzania. This year's event, scheduled for October, is expected to feature teams across the African continent. Frederick Mwoki for Legends Edition.
Athlete refugees converged in Kaptagat, Uasin Gishu County yesterday to celebrate the World Refugee Day in the ceremony that was graced by the President of the National Olympic Committee of Kenya, Dr. Paul Tergat, and Athletics Kenya President retired Lieutenant General Jack Tuwei. The event brought together members of the athletics team, including standout athletes Perina Nakang Lokure, who has been part of the IOC refugee team, and Abdi Fattah Aden Hassan. The athletes joined hands with local and international stakeholders to champion the role of sports in transforming the lives of displaced persons across the globe. In his address, the president of NOC, who is also an IOC member, Dr. Tergat, emphasized the importance of refugees exercising their talents and role of sports in healing and integration. It's also a groundbreaking initiative that was launched to accelerate the momentum in the realization of big dreams for athlete refugees in collaboration with the IOC, Wild Athletics, NOCK, Athletics Kenya, and Complete Sports.
We are having opportunity to intermingle and also to celebrate different cultures that we have seen, and also to celebrate in terms of celebrating the Refugee Day, and especially our refugee athletes that they are within the camp.
United Nations High Commission for Refugees, we've been working together, and they have been coming for our activities, for our championships, so that they get to practice, they get to compete.
Umekuwa furaha kwangu. Ni first time kwangu kusherehekea sasa hii sana wa Refugee Day.
It's very important for them
to be celebrated as any other person in the world. And today marks the best ever day since I started working with them. They are positive, we have been going on well, and their training is good. And they are actually adopted to the place. Everything is going on well.
Kenya is among the IGAD countries, and you know that one of the assignments that is being spearheaded by IGAD is to make sure that there is that humanity, an aspect of integration of the refugees. And now sports is one of the things that can really bring people together, the locals and the refugee. Had some good time to interact and be together and participate in different activities.
On basketball, Nairobi City Thunder carried on their winning ways in the Kenya Basketball Men's Premier League, where they are on their title defense with an 83-61 defeat of Umoja in one of today's thrillers at the Nyayo National Stadium Gymnasium. Equity Dumas were also on a roll in a nail-biting clash against USIU Tigers, who made them sweat before the Dumas managed to win narrowly by 84-82 baskets. In the Women's Premier League games, Zetec Sparks were also taken to task by Equity Hawks before they managed to beat them 69-61 as Anu Panthers beat Storms 54-30 in another game. It's part of the action from the Nyayo Gymnasium. Now, the Kenya Chess Federation has announced plans to host the first ever intermedia chess competition, an initiative aimed at promoting the sport and enhancing journalists' appreciation and coverage of chess across the country. Frederick Mwoki has the report.
Over 50 sports journalists converged in Nairobi for a chess training workshop organized by Sports Journalists Association of Kenya, SJAC. Speaking during the session, officials confirmed there are plans to host an inaugural intermediate chess tournament which will bring together journalists from various media houses to compete in a friendly but competitive environment designed to demystify the game.
Some journalism maybe has similarities in terms of the scope is quite wide. You need to do your research. In chess also you need to do your research a lot. Improving on finding out the latest lines that are in play.
The workshop featured basic chess training sessions, game demonstrations, and a breakdown of the key rules and strategies involved in professional play.
Ikitiliwa maanani ya kwamba wanahabari wengi zaidi hatujakuwa na ufahamu wa kuweza kuripoti, kuandika mchezo wa chess, lakini hii leo tumekuwa na nafasi mwafaka zaidi, tumeweza kufunzwa mafunzo ya moja kwa moja.
Ukiangalia federations nyingi, most don't give journalists such kind of workshops. So first of all, to the Chess Federation, this is a thumbs up to them. It's a great first step they made.
The federation revealed that the inaugural intermediate tournament will take place later this year. Frederick Mwoki for Legends Edition.
Now, for many years, retirement has been seen by sportsmen and sportswomen as an end to careers built over many years, sacrifice and hard work. But now it's turning into the beginning of a new phase of their careers, a continuation of their stories in which they keep doing what they love. International sporting federations have worked tirelessly to introduce the same disciplines, but for the older generation, famously known as masters competitions. Athletics are doing it, swimming are doing it, and now football has followed suit with a new style of play, the walking football, which is slowly taking root in Kenya and Africa as a whole. Let's take a look and a listen.
Created in 2011 by John Crute and introduced in Kenya last October, walking football under the guidance of Ambassador Ricky Weir is also finding growth in Kenya with the aim of seeing Kenya play at the first time at the World Nations Cup in 2027.
Walking football is a growing sport around the world. I cannot say offhand how many countries. I have a dual role. I'm the ambassador for walking football for Africa, so I aim where I can, whilst I'm already in Africa with other projects I have to promote the game. I already was successful in doing so in both Rwanda in 2019 and in Nigeria in 2020. And both of those countries mobilised and took a team to the first ever World Nations Cup for walking football, which took place in England in 2023. And they are also returning for the second edition of the World Nations Cup, which will take place this year in Spain at the end of October.
The game targets players aged above 40 years, preferably retired footballers.
Kenya right now are just at the beginning stages, but in terms of the objective, and I shared it with these players at the start, the objective for them and others would be to develop well enough through the legends, through probably the existing football clubs that are here in Kenya, you know, Leopards, Matari United, Police, to create a walking football division. And from there they can become a Kenya walking football national team, which the next step clearly then would be for them. My dream would be for a Kenya walking football national team to be taking part in the 2027 edition of the World Nations Cup for walking football.
Unlike the traditional football, walking football has rules that are mindful of the age category.
I'll give you some key differences. Of course, the obvious one is it's walking, not running. There are different facets of not walking. So, for example, side skipping would be an infringement, even though it's not technically running. So that's the basic and fundamental difference. There is no heading of the ball. The principal reason for that is for health and safety, where it's a sport mainly for older age groups. So that's going to minimise any chances of injury. The ball, when played overhead height, that would be called as a foul. And most importantly, it's a non-contact sport. You can block the ball, you can in front, you can protect the ball, but there's no contact. And that's, again, would be called as an infringement. In our version of the sport, if a player would make 3 infringements, they would receive a blue card, which is a sin bin of 4 minutes or 10% of game time. And generally a game is 20 minutes each way, total 40 minutes. So 10% is 4 minutes. So a sin bin time would be 4 minutes off the field, where you have to play with a player less. The goalkeeper's area is protected. The goalkeeper cannot come out the area, but also the players cannot go in the area. Infringements on that would be, depending on who makes the infringement, if a goalkeeper would come out the area, it's a penalty. If a defender would go in the area, it's a penalty. And then if an attacker would go in the area, it's simply an award, a goal kick to the goalkeeper. So those would be the fundamental differences between regular football and walking football. However, and importantly to me, the key facets of the game still remain. It's a passing and moving game. And the teams that can pass the ball, control the ball the best and move both with and without the ball the best will be the teams who generally will win the game.
The manner in which the sport is played promotes cardiovascular fitness while reducing stress on the body.
The sport is aimed for two different directions. For communities, to encourage anybody who wants to play to come out and get on the field, get some exercise, get some social inclusion, get some social interaction. Many older people in this day and age can face issues of loneliness, being by themselves for long periods of time, and this is a great opportunity to integrate and have some exercise and have some sport. And the second facet is what I would call the competitive side, where it's an opportunity for ex-footballers who no longer can play because at 11-a-side it's too fast, it's too physical. Here's an opportunity to come back and rekindle their glory days, perhaps, get back on the field when they thought their days were over, meet up again with old teammates, play against old foes. And if they can do that through the infrastructure of their clubs, then you rekindle also that social inclusion as well as the exercise. And of course, there's the cherry on the cake. can I be selected to play for my national team and get to a World Cup in the future, which very few people have achieved in their life. And this is another angle for football and sport, which these players you see behind me could well be doing in the next 2 years.
The game was originally played without goalkeepers, and different footballs are used in the indoor and outdoor variations of the sport.
It's also a mixed sport. It can be mixed. So if you don't, in the early days, if you don't have enough women taking part, they can join with the men. Because the physicality has been taken out of the game, women can compete and can be actually very good when playing with men, because they're not being justified by not being able to run so fast, not being so strong, because there's no contact and there's no running. So they're just being judged on their ability to, receive the ball, control the ball, understand football, pass the ball well, move well. So women, some teams will go to the World Cups with a mixed team if they weren't able to put together a separate men and women's team.
Similar slower-paced sports include walking netball, walking rugby, walking basketball, walking hockey, and walking cricket.
It's not what I can do, it's what they can do. I would love it to happen, but the people who I'm not the one who'll make it happen. The people you see behind me and around are the people who will make it happen. I'm here as a guiding light, but not the one who's going to make it happen.
Buckley Feather, Legends Edition Sports.
Interesting, I must say. Now, excitement is building up for one of the world's most iconic conservation races, the Lewa Safaricom Marathon, which will mark its 25th anniversary in Isiolo County next Saturday, the 28th of June. The marathon is expected to attract over 1,400 participants, both locally and internationally, who will tackle the scenic yet demanding tough terrain of the Lewa Wildlife Conservancy. Since its debut in 2000, the event has grown into a global symbol for conservancy and community development, raising funds that have supported the healthcare of over 40,000 people annually, empowered over 700 women, and transformed education for thousands of students. The 2025 edition will feature a 42-kilometer full marathon, 21-kilometer half marathon, 10-kilometer executive run, and 5-kilometer fundraise for the young ones. The head of anti-poaching for Lewa Conservancy, Edward Nderito, said that they are well prepared in terms of security. Let's take a listen.
Lewa Marathon, yes, it's a land, but for a big story, the funds that is collected in Lewa Marathon support the neighboring community. In conservation, you cannot do conservation without the community.
Sports is about bringing out passion, but it's also about keeping fit. So Lewa is not just about going to run and keeping great time. Of course, you need to challenge yourself, but it's also about fitness and fitness goals, however small those goals are, however large those goals are.
Preparations are complete ahead of the Mr. and Miss Greater Western Bodybuilding Championship, slated for the 5th of July at the Fitness Summit Gym Hall in Kisumu. The championship, that is set to attract over 120 bodybuilders, will consist of a total of 4 categories, namely bodybuilding, bikini, physique, and wellness. The Kenya Bodybuilding Federation will use the event to raise awareness on the importance of winning clean, devoid of doping violations. The bodybuilding winner will walk away with 50,000 Kenya shillings, while the male physique and bikini top finishers will receive 20,000 and 15,000 shillings respectively. The wellness category, victor, will pocket 15,000 shillings. Let's take a listen.
Mambo ya steroid ndio wanapinga kabisa, wanataka natural. Hawataki steroid na wanataka natural, na hawataki siasa. Siasa inaharibu mchezo. Wale wengine, kuna wale ambao wana advocate for steroid, but tunawaambia ni sawa, wanaweza ingia Mr. Olympia.
We want this thing to be a serious game, and vile imekuwa revived hivi, tunataka ikuwe a game yenye inaanza from counties level, not even counties level, from sub-counties level, iende counties level, iende country level, and we can be able to compete with different countries, ikuwe like something like East Africa, and ikuwe like Africa mzima.
32 teams have confirmed participation in the 6th edition of the Five-Star Football Tournament, which will be held on the 30th of this month in Nairobi. Speaking during the launch of the tournament, the Football Kenya Federation Nairobi West Branch Chairman Raki Omondi said that the championship is geared towards creating awareness on the need to stop drugs and substance abuse among the youth. The winners will receive personalized trophies and cash rewards. Let's take a listen.
The aim of this kind of championship, number one, is to use sports for advocacy. Most of the teams drawn from those particular areas, we see that the youths are normally engaged in antisocial behaviors, drug use, crime. So I think it's a great opportunity for sports to be used as an advocacy tool.
The competition has been very competitive. In the past 5 editions, there's no one who has defended the title. We have 5 different champions, so we are hoping to see if the former champions will defend this or it will also be a new champion.
Tutazidi kutembea nao kwa sababu ukiangalia mpira ni jambo ambalo linaleta watu pamoja, linaleta wazee pamoja, linaleta watoto pamoja, na pia hata mama zetu siku hizi wanaweza kujumuika pamoja kukuja kuona mpira.
The CHAN profiling 2022 runners-up Algeria headline Group C in the 2024 Africa Nations Championship, CHAN, as they will be featuring the prestigious tournament for the 3rd time. The North African side is pooled with neighbors and co-hosts Uganda, Niger, Guinea and South Africa. Frederick Moki has more details on this report.
The 2024 CHAN tournament slated for this August promises to be a spectacle of domestic football talent. Group C stands out as one of the most competitive pools, featuring 4 teams with rich histories and aspirations. Co-hosts Uganda, 2022 runners-up Algeria, 2011 quarter-finalists South Africa, and 2022 fourth-place finishers Niger and Guinea. Despite their 6th consecutive appearance at the CHAN finals, Uganda is yet to advance beyond the group stage.
Down goes Marquinhos. No.
After finishing as runners-up in the 2022 edition, Algeria aims to go one step further and clinch the title. Their squad boasts a blend of experience and youthful energy, making them formidable contenders. Group C matches will be hosted in Kampala, Uganda, one of the co-hosts of the 2024 African Nations Championship. The others are Kenya, who will host Group A matches, and Tanzania, who will host Group A. That championship is scheduled to kick off on 2nd of August this year.
And that, Wana Sporty, is a wrap. From me, Topi Liambila. See you next weekend. Over to you now, Edmund.
Well, that does it. My name is Edmund Mudibo, our sign language interpreter, Lucy Moira. And on behalf of the great team that has made this possible, we thank you for the privilege of your time. Stay well, stay safe. God bless.
do we really know what we are using on our skin to get that glow? Do we fully understand the risks and the benefits, both short and long term, when it comes to these products and practices?
You look at your diet. What am I taking that is going to boost the skin? You want to take a lot of proteins, because with stretch marks, it's the same collagen that has gone low. That skin has overstretched.
If you have like sensitive skin, you need to avoid things that you've seen they have alcohol inside them or fragrances, because those can further irritate your skin and worsen your condition.
Who is doing the checks and balances for the products that are being sold out here?
When it comes to the Mikorogos, unfortunately, KEBS does do its due diligence when it comes to the products that are supposed to be sold. But unfortunately, through back doors and that street in town, you find some, it just goes unregulated.
Basically, what you're saying is there's a lot of information out there, but first and foremost, where you're buying your product and how to verify that it's an original product.